Hello and welcome to O Health by Dr. T, my radio show. This is Dr. Marlene Tejas Cordova, and thank you so much for joining me. I'm really excited about today's show. It's a topic that I love and I talk about in my office. I've been a doctor of family medicine and now functional medicine, integrating both, for about 23 years. And this is a topic I ask my patients all the time as I'm seeing them for anxiety and depression and diabetes and high blood pressure and insomnia. I find myself asking, what's your space at home look like and what's your space at work look like? And not just what it looks like, what does it feel like to you? That's so important. And that is why I'm so excited to introduce Ines Martins, or Martins.
Martins, yes.
Ines Martins. Here she is. Say hello.
Hello.
Thank you so much for joining me, because this topic is so important in my office, like I just said. More and more, even people working from home, right?
Yeah.
In their home, they're working and living. And Ines is going to expand about how you can make your space work for you, help you be more creative, help you stay calm, and also how to separate the two, work and home living. Again, I talk about this because the purpose of this show is to educate and inspire all of you, all the different ways you can improve your health and well-being. And one of the most important aspects is your home, where you live. And more, there's more science showing how your space can be healing or can hurt you, make your medical conditions worse. There's a lot of evidence now showing how just a room with a view in your hospital, a room with a view of a forest, or a room with a view of a brick wall has a tremendous effect on how rapidly you heal and how much medication for pain you wind up using. And even nurses' notes about whether a patient is complaining or not. This has been studied and written about already. And more is going to be done about how we can change the way a hospital looks and feels to optimize your healing time and optimize your experience for you as a patient and even your family, which is so important. And I'm so excited to see that universities are coming together with the School of Medicine and School of Architecture, schools of interior design are coming together in collaboration to change the way hospitals are designed. So this is a topic, again, that I absolutely love and am passionate about. I'm so happy that Ines is joining me today so she can help you right now optimize your space at home and work. So how did you get started in this business, Ines?
Well, thank you so much, first of all, to have me here, inviting me for this topic. It is something that is very passionate to me as well. I am originally from Portugal, and I've been here in the United States for the past 10 years. I'm an interior designer, but I describe myself being constantly evolving and very curious about learning new things and expanding my mind. I learned through my journey that it is, and I'd like to share with the listeners, that it's very important, and it's okay to go through changes, and it's okay to start from scratch and to really, change your home and change your environment anytime you want, because that change really creates, an energy flow in you and your lifestyle. I love nature, so I love the fact that you brought that up. The nature, it's so healing, and I love traveling. And one of the favorite places I've been in the world is Bali. So just by going to Bali, I felt that was very transformative to me, and their way of living, their Zen culture, and I learned so much from them. So when I came over. When I returned, I wanted to incorporate that topic and their way of living to my projects here in Miami. So I created the concept, the art of living in harmony, and that involves involves living in harmony in the home with your interiors and also in your lifestyle, creating a better lifestyle that promotes a healthier well-being, for a better life, right? And yes, so my work became like that bridge between the two, the interior design part and also the lifestyle. So I would love to share 5 quick tips with you and the listeners, so you can incorporate in your home and see that change.
That's great. So all of you listening and watching, this is really important because she's about to share some things you can do right now, okay? And with very little expense, correct?
Yes.
Little things you can do by changing the placement of things maybe and the lighting and all of these things. And before she goes on to do that, I just want to talk about how my personal experience too. I recently opened up a space of my own for my practice. And I remember thinking, well, how do I want to feel in that space? And how do I want my patients to feel in that space? And that's basically what you want to ask yourself right now. How do you want to feel in your home, right? And where you work? And so that Ines can tell you all of the 5 tips to kind of make it work for you right now. And I want everyone in my office to feel safe and at peace and feel like they're about to be taken care of. And so I had to really think about the colors, right? So we're going to think about things you're looking at, things you're listening to, things that you're smelling, your sense of smell. And all of those elements are so important to put you at ease, right? Where all healing starts to begin, right? We begin the healing process by getting to the present moment, which Ines will expand upon, I'm sure, because she works on improving the energy of the space. It's one of her fortes in creating harmony. And in my office, seeing patients, I have to also teach the patient to create some harmony within themselves, mind, body, and soul. I teach meditation and journaling and mindfulness, and it would be very helpful to me if I already know their home is helping them do that their workplace is helping them do that. So I'm excited that she's about to share some of those tips. Can you go ahead?
Yes. So I think the number one, the major topic here is really looking into your home and seeing how much clutter do you have around. And when I mean clutter, sometimes we say, no, my house is pretty tidy and it looks good. But really like look into things that you have too many of, right? Because even like us that we like to read, for example, having too many books in one space can become clutter. Having too many things in the kitchen,
even too many books. That's a good point.
Even too many books, yes. Because if you don't reach to them, and if you're just there,
it should be the ones you're kind of reading or going back to, the ones that really you interact with the most.
Exactly, the ones that you have read 10 years ago and you no longer go back and reread them. Why don't you donate and gift it, right? Because it's no longer doing good to you and to the space to be there. So it's becoming stagnant energy.
That's a good point.
So create a movement. So like this no longer belongs here. Let me move it. Let me give another meaning to this piece.
So if someone has like a library in their office or bookshelves and lots of books, maybe they can separate that from maybe that could be an area of a library, so to speak, where all these books that maybe when people come over, other people in your family, it can be, is that okay? Like a storage or a place called a library, separate from maybe where you're trying to read and learn and create? You're recommending separating the two, not having all those books in that space?
I recommend to have to always have a meaning for something. So if the books are there, like you said, it could be something that a guest comes in and picks up a book and reads it, but not, for example, have a pile of books in your bedroom while you're trying to rest and they're not there.
It'll feel too cluttered, right?
Exactly. So if they are tidy and organized and if they have a purpose to be there, I would definitely say
like
yes.
Like a different space in the house or something.
Exactly. If it's in the office, even better, or if it's in the wisdom part of the house.
Exactly.
We separate the home by areas. But
Can you talk about more about that?
Yes, definitely. later on. Later on. So
Perfect.
let's see what else we can find clutter in a kitchen,
Yes.
for example. We don't realize how many pieces we have in it. And I just moved home
That's
to
right.
a new apartment. So you have no idea. We always find little things that we haven't used in so long, right? So all these little things are energy that is stuck there, that have no meaning. And even if it looks very pretty, or even if it's a gift that someone gives you,
Right.
and
You feel bad.
you feel bad because you don't know what to do with that. But maybe the person who comes to your home and sees that it's stuff that is taking space and energetically space.
Right.
So you want to move around things. You want to have a home that perhaps is more simple, clean, and has the energy flow without feeling
important.
too busy, too cluttered. Also, something very important is broken stuff, broken pieces. How often I have clients that say, but this is my grandmother gave me, it broke, but I still want to keep it because it has a meaning to me. And it's like, okay, so the energy that you sending out is that you have not enough money to buy a new one. So you keeping the old, you're really afraid of not having enough. So you keep accumulating stuff.
Afraid of not having enough.
Exactly. So we must allow the flow.
What about the sentimental connection or attachment to an object or an item? What do you recommend some people do with those?
Okay, so let's just say photos, and we have so many photos, especially back in the day. I mean, I go to my parents' house, and it's full of the frames and photos with us being a kid. It's beautiful to see, but it becomes too much, right?
There's a point in which...
Yeah, so what we want to do is, how attached are you to those things? And understand those memories are good to keep, but not to be too attached to it.
Yeah.
Because let's just say, it's an attachment. It's something that we don't need. We don't need to keep all those. So what I would say is keep the photos. Perhaps do an album and keep them all there, so they are more tidy, they're more organized, and they're not all over the house.
Yes.
And if you still really, really love to have them exposed, choose one area of your house, perhaps in the living room, not in your bedroom, again, because I'll go over that. The bedroom is a place that you feel you need to be relaxed. So as simple as possible, as calming, relaxing, so you can have a good night's sleep. Because we all know a good night's sleep will bring you healing, right?
Yes.
And it will give you energy for the following day.
Yeah, that'll be great. So all you people out there listening
Yes.
and watching that have trouble sleeping, stay tuned. This is going to be good. Sleep is so important for your health and well-being. I literally talk about this every single day, Ines. Every single day. How many hours of sleep do you get? Is it good quality sleep? Because that affects how they feel during the day, because that's what they're complaining to me about. Like how they're feeling. I'm tired. I have headaches. And my memory isn't even good. Your memory suffers when you don't sleep well. Yeah. I mean, that's why this topic is so exciting, and so happy that you're here again. I'm so grateful that you're here sharing this wisdom. So stay tuned, because we're going to talk about how to get better sleep through interior design, right? Mm-hmm. Go on.
Yes. So the number 2 thing that I would say, and I would suggest everybody that is listening, is good quality of air and water.
Yes. Thank you.
It is so important.
Yes.
And when we mean, you might not have the best view ever, but having good air, being able to open the windows once in a while. I know Miami is just so hot in here, right? But opening the windows once in a while and just allowing the fresh air to come in, especially now, it's so important to our health, our lungs, to just be breathing. So make sure you change your
whenever you have the opportunity
filters and all those things. I even suggest, this is interesting, this is something I've been studying from the past, washing your windows, because we have clean windows. They say behind the scenes what that so means important. Is that you have a good vision. Clarity, exactly. So clean windows, making sure you always
looking out of a dirty window versus a clean and clear window has a huge effect on you.
Yes.
how you're feeling, okay? Right?
Yes.
Which
yeah.
is like, thank you so much for pointing that out. So let's be
Yes.
mindful of that for sure, right?
Yes.
And open the windows when it's a nice day. Just like, you know what? Open the window. Let that breeze come
Yes.
through the house, clean up the air, circulate, like you say, energy, right? The energy flow that you're always incorporating into your designs, Ines, right? That's what's so special about you. Always incorporating not just aesthetics, but the energy of the space.
Yes, it doesn't matter if a space is so beautiful, but the energy is dead. We need to activate the energy. We need the breathing new air, new fresh air. And let's just say if you have this dark room and like in the back of the house or something, make sure that you open the curtains and you incorporate more lighting, because the darker, the less the less energy movement. So incorporating maybe it doesn't have to break the bank. You can just add a floor lamp, so just to
Lighten
have more light. Yes. The water. I've been actually on my stories, I've been saying so much about a good water filter because it's so important. We drink water, and of course,
absolutely, we talk about hydration all the time. Optimal hydration.
Yes, we made of how much percent? 80% of water. So the quality of water. I have this great water filter, and I hope everybody has a good water filter to make sure you drink good water, to make sure that the water flow is also healthy, to have the impact on your mind, body, and soul, as we always talk,
this is
right?
self-care. I mean, you're basically talking about self-care. How you're right. You're taking care of your space is a form of self-care for your health and well-being. So yes, you're, like you said, the water and the air quality.
Yes.
So you can improve that immediately by opening up a window.
Yes.
Right now.
And I love, something really, really nice to also incorporate in the air is essential oils. If you have an air filter, a purifier, you can do a couple of drops of essential oils and just brings that beautiful...
Using a diffuser?
Yes, diffuser. If you, depending which area of the house, let's say in the bedroom, before you go to sleep, putting a couple of drops of lavender it will just like give you the ambience and the sleepy, so you can really have a good night rest. And
so you've already discussed air quality, and that's the sense of smell. So you're opening up the windows.
Yes.
A breeze is moving the air, right? Cleaning your air filters. So be mindful of the air quality and be mindful of the water quality. So make sure that you're getting the right kind of filters, right, for your water and the right kind of filters for your air. And to every now and then, whenever possible, when it's not too hot here in South Florida, open your windows. This is a tip. Remember that. It's key. And essential oils. There's some that help you stay calm. Science has shown lavender, like Ines just mentioned. Lavender oil, when diffused in your bedroom, has already been proven to calm you down and get you prepared for the kind of sleep that restores you. This is science, folks, okay? So science can be very fun to apply into your daily life. It's not that complicated, and that's why we're doing this show, so Ines can really simplify things for all of you out there, that you can optimize your home, okay? What else?
Well, something I love to incorporate in my designs is living plants. Having a plant in your living room, like if it's, I love large plants. It becomes the statement of the space, and it is just so beautiful. It can be a piece of art, really, and that is a way to refresh and to really bring good energy as well to the space. I would not suggest to have plants in a bedroom, just because of the air when you sleep. You wanna be like resting, and so leaving plants really in a living room, kitchen. If you have, now it's so trendy to have those hanging plants or the orchids
and the living walls.
In the living walls, create a beautiful wall of hanging plants. I'm doing that in my new place now. It looks really, really good, and is the best for your health.
Cleans the air, helps improve the air quality, like you said. And
Yes.
sometimes it could be a flowering plant that's aromatic if you're not allergic, of course. Right? And you can also diffuse essential oils that smell like flowers so that you really feel like you're out in nature.
Yes.
Because let me tell you, nature elements, we are part of nature. So when we bring nature and integrate it into our workplace and our home place, we optimize our health and well-being instantly. That's why this topic is so key. Bringing nature into your space, right?
Yes.
So hanging trees, the living walls, and things like that cleans up the air, and also you feel one with nature, right? So you feel whole, you feel at peace,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
It's very
Yes.
detoxing too, right? The plants detox the air.
Detox the air. It's the best, not so expensive little thing you can just apply in your home, and you can really feel the benefits straight away. It's amazing. So, living
That's
plants.
great.
And living plants, not the fake ones. I would not suggest to do fake
And any
plants.
of you start thinking you don't have a green thumb, you don't need a green
Yes.
thumb, okay? Don't let that get in your way.
And that's a belief. That's a belief a lot of people have. I used to think
Right?
like that, but there's plants
It's a
that you don't
limiting
even...
belief.
Yes, limiting belief. There's plants you only need to water once a week, so they're very easy. So I'll definitely encourage you to get some plants. Well, our fourth tip today will be colors and textures.
Yeah, huge.
Which is a huge topic. We're gonna
Colors and
try.
textures.
We're gonna try and minimize it, because we can go on and on and on. So much to talk about this, but again, let's talk about how do you want to feel in a room,
Yes.
right?
Peaceful.
The feeling and not just how it looks, right? Because again, there's a lot of interior design out there that look just so amazing. The magazines, oh my god, you just scroll a magazine and it's like, oh, I want a living room like this. But really, how do you feel in a space, right? So colors will affect that. If you love the color red, for example, it's a beautiful, it's very passionate, and it's vibrant, but perhaps using on a wall it might be too much, and it might cause also fighting. It might cause too much passion, right? When there's too much passion, there's also fighting. So you might not use the red color on the walls. I learned this by doing myself many years ago. I experiment everything. So when I think I was like...
What was happening?
Maybe 20 years old. I did paint it because it was fun. I just painted my own walls, and I felt the energy. It was like, what's going on? This room becomes really active, and there's a lot of like strong conversations and fighting. And then I went.
You realized it was red?
I realized that was the red, and I learned everything about the colors. So let's just talk about, for example, if you love red, you could use as decor pieces in smaller versions, right? Maybe a pillow, maybe an element like a vase or something smaller that it becomes like a little accent piece and not like a major wall. Let's talk about suiting colors. For example, light blues. Light blues, you might feel calm, tranquil, and you have the sense of, and it's very peaceful in the area. But also, if you paint the entire room in light blue, it can become cold. It can become like, you might like it but not feel like you want to be there for like the entire day. You might feel like, okay, this is temporary. I'm just here. I'm not sure. I don't feel like I want to stay cozy in this room, right? So what I do in my interior designs is I do always light colors on the walls, and I go into the pastels colors, either white or light, very, very, very light gray, or beige. Beige is very homey, cozy. And then if I want to activate it and bring more, another accent color, I'll do the pillows. I'll do the throw, for example, on the bed. I do little elements around the house.
Right.
Then what else? So textures as well. The textures. How do we want to feel? If it's the bedroom, you want things to be cozy. Like make sure that you use organic textures. That is so important. If you are in touch with the texture, right? So cottons and linens are what I would suggest.
Yes.
Anything that is
natural.
as natural as possible.
Natural fibers, right? Natural materials, and that are soft. Yes, because it's important, as like I'm sure you're going to get into, how you're going to incorporate maybe some mindfulness. And so when we incorporate mindfulness, when you feel anxious and stressed, which is a topic I talk about every day in my office, you have these at your disposal in your home space, like things that feel good, that when you look at them, they feel good, and you're smelling things that are good. It's going to be so easy for you to reset from stress to peace, right? In your home with some of the tips you're giving us. So that's great. That's important.
Yeah, it's very important. I love to add, for example, a blanket. Every single room that I do, it always has a cozy, comfy blanket. The bedroom, because you want to sometimes
in a moment you can grab it.
Yeah, grab it and have your own moments.
Comforted.
Yes.
In a moment.
Yes. A living room as well. I always have like a basket with blankets and extra pillows. And even for like a guest that comes in, you can just make the space really cozy and comfortable to be in.
So yes, colors affect how you feel very much.
Yes.
So we want to put colors that are soothing, right, and tranquil, which are the light pastel colors, right?
Pastel
and
colors.
Textures too can help you feel more soothed, right, when you're touching them. So soft blankets and even the furniture.
Yes.
Right? So the texture of the furniture and the fabric being used.
Exactly. So let's say it's very trendy and modern to use lacquer whites.
That's true.
But if you go through lacquer whites, the entire house, it becomes too cold. It becomes too... the feeling of not wanting to spend too long in a space. Have you ever felt like going inside a space and not sure why, it looks pretty, but not sure why you don't want to stay there too long for some reason, right? And that is our intuition telling us it's too cold. So...
And uninviting, right?
Uninviting, yes. I love incorporating all the elements.
Right.
In the same space. Yes, nature. I love woods, warm woods. And it's okay to mix. It's okay to have warm woods and some lacquer white.
Like harmony, like you just mentioned,
Exactly.
the art of
of living in harmony, yes.
So you're harmonizing, right? The natural materials.
Because if you only use one material in the entire house, it becomes, again, too cold. So let's just say we use materials like the elements water, air, wood, and earth. All those elements incorporated in one space will create that harmony.
Even fire, like candles.
Fire, exactly.
Or a fireplace wherever you live in this world. Sometimes you utilize a fireplace a lot, right? Or a fire pit outside.
Yes.
Why do we feel good around a fire pit?
Yes. And even if you don't have the space for a fire pit or anything fire, you can use the element of red. The red is fire.
Oh, great.
It's the
That's a great tip.
It means fire. So you can bring that and warm up a space by using a piece, it could be a vase, in red.
Great.
Yeah. And water, for example, if you don't have the element of water is also glass. The glass element means water, so having a glass table, for example, anything like that, and then incorporating with woods, which brings the warmth. Woods are very important in the house, brings the warmth and the earth elements. So having all this harmony in all the elements really creates that feeling of, I want to stay here longer. I don't know why, but this feels cozy and this is homey.
And that's definitely how you want to feel at home.
Yes.
And even at work. There's already so many studies being done about how productivity will increase. I just read a study about how productivity increased by 20% just by having all the employees be in nature for 1 hour every day.
Yes.
So it really does make a difference what you're talking about.
Definitely.
Big difference, big impact on how you feel and how you function and in your productivity.
Yes. Well, because your home is a living sanctuary, and I would see it as, how do you want to step into your home, and you should feel like it's your sacred space. You should feel like this is where I'm going to replenish my energy. I'm going to set back to my alignments. This is my comfort zone, because it's so much going on in the world, right? There's so much, and sometimes we travel so long in our cars to go back to our workspace and then travel. Some people travel an hour. Yeah. So by the time you get home, you want to just
want to go relax. You want to feel like this lightness and this peace and this tranquility. Yes. Right? And even love and feeling of love in your home, because then, right? Because if you love your space, you immediately are going to connect with that feeling and gratitude.
Yes. So talking about that, I would give you my last tip, which is I would suggest to all the listeners to incorporate some rituals, incorporate an altar. Right. So these days we talk so much about meditating, right? So much about spirituality.
Yep.
Having that moment in your morning, perhaps, or in the evening, to set your intentions for the day. So I always say we have we all want to start these new routines, but sometimes it's kind of hard and life gets in the way and we forget. So I would suggest to create a space, a physical space in your home, that you can incorporate an altar. Okay? And this can be, a little space in a corner in your bedroom, but a space that could be just like you in silence. If you have a big family, perhaps in your, like a little nook in your bedroom, or, when the entire family goes out, maybe in the living room, a space where you can sit down and just be you, calm your mind, set your intentions, meditate, pray,
great way to begin your day.
A great way to begin your day. If you connect to crystals, you can have a couple of crystals. You can have perhaps some candles. If you like some statue, you can add a statue, flowers, bring some flowers, and turn that into your moment. I call that self-love.
Yes.
Self-love. If you don't have 15 minutes a day to sit down and be only you, and have that moment to just set up and see, like, what do I want to create today, right? If you don't have that time,
that's also a great space to practice your meditation.
Yes.
Which I teach. If you're my patient, I brought it up to you.
Yes.
Meditation has been proven time and time again to improve your well-being in so many ways. And I'm a doctor, and I treat high blood pressure, diabetes, insomnia, and depression, anxiety, and mindfulness, right? Yeah. Meditation and journaling are some of the things that I teach in the office to create a foundation for staying well. Just practices, like you said. And guess what I ask them? What's your self-care practice? And they're like, sometimes they look at me like, what are you talking about, self-care practice? And I'm like, well, let's get started implementing that. Yeah. So it's great what you're sharing with them today. So they can create that space to begin their self-care practice and their self-love practice. Because love, and you speak about energy, love has an energy to it, a frequency to it, okay, that is very powerful and healing. So if you have a space in your home where you could go there and immediately feel this and connect with yourself, what's happening is patients are always giving. They're in a field of service and they have families that are taking and they're giving. So like you said, harmony of giving and receiving. And so the self-care practice is something I have conversations with all the time, because it's why they're not feeling well. Like you said, restoring harmony. You restore harmony by creating a space in your home to do that, right? Mm-hmm. Your self-care, begin your day connecting to yourself and just being, like you said so perfectly. And it's hard to do that if you don't have a space for that. That's why this subject is key, to create that space in your home that allows you to do that very easily and quickly. Because again, everyone's busy and everyone doesn't have enough time. I hear that all the time. I don't have time for that. And now I'm like, but you don't feel good. So the question is, what quality of life do you want when you're 80 years old, 90 years old? Do you want to take care of yourself, or do you want to be taken care of? Do you want to be a burden? What you do now affects your health when you're 80, 90, 100 years old. That's why this is so important. The space that you live in and the space that you work in affects your health right now. And that's why this subject is key. So please, I hope you're taking notes and you're paying attention, because this is been studied. Science is showing how important your space, they call it biophilic design. Scientists, architects, interior designers are calling it biophilic design, bringing nature, like she mentioned, the colors of nature, plants, the smells of nature, lavender, that's nature. Lavender is a flower. Okay, she's incorporating this into the space to create harmony even with your body, with your hormones. Studies show your hormones are more balanced and more in harmony when you have a space in which all of these elements are incorporated, right? So what did you do in your home? What do you have in your home for yourself?
Well,
what kind of space did you create?
I've created, so I have an extra room, which it is my meditation room. It to me it became who I am, and it became a priority, like you said. It is a must for me, because I've learned that, and mind you, I used to be someone that about the self-love question, I would say my self-love practice is going to the gym. And now I hear all my clients say that, and it's important to take care of your body and your health, but that's a doing. That's a going and working hard and sweating. Is that really self-love, or is that like a way to mask the stuff, right? So to me,
good question.
It became very important to just be. So whenever. And this happens because I'm an achiever, I'm a go-getter, but I understood that whenever I get a little overwhelmed and I become a little anxious, my way of taking care of it is stopping for 10 minutes, and if you can, take a nap. If you're at home. If not, just sit down and focus on your breathing. I'm sure you teach that. Focus on your breathing in that space that you created for yourself, and just reset.
Yeah.
I've done this many times throughout my business career, where, as many people might know, but interior design, a lot of things can go wrong. And if you are involved
Really?
in construction, a lot of things can, not work as we plan.
Like in life.
A lot of
things can go wrong.
And if you work with a team of people, this has happened before. I would like to share because it's exciting. I've had, some issues that I just couldn't find a solution, and me and my manager, we were like on and on and on, throwing ideas out there, and then I told him, you know what, let's take a break. And they were having a meditation in the working space that I was working with. Let's take a minute. It was a 15-minute meditation, and they used sound healing and all that, which I also incorporate on my business. We set those 15 minutes apart. We came back and we had a solution just like that. Because
perfect example.
My mind was so in peace, and I was no longer struggling, because when you're not in peace, it gets confusing, and the solution
actually what happens is a stress response. So exactly. Now you're getting into this loop of overthinking, and physiologically your body's now into the stress response where you're not. It's fight or flight.
Yeah.
It's danger mode. We're either going to fight or we're going to flee, and that's a stress response. So this is an important tip, Ines, that you're talking about. Take a moment. That's awareness. So we're giving you a level of consciousness to this when you feel that happening. you're back and forth and you have no solution, and of course it's an important matter and you are very concerned about it, and a solution must be found out, right?
Yeah.
Take a moment, just be aware first, awareness first, and then take a break, like you said. So important, so that now you can quiet your mind. Tell your body will receive the message, everything's okay, we're not in danger. And now intuition is given a space, right? You're giving a space for your inner wisdom and intuition, which is your inner compass, to come and speak to you. And if you don't have that moment to listen, you're not going to get that gem of an idea or of a solution. So that's why this is so important, to create these spaces in your home and work, right?
I'm very passionate about this subject, very passionate, because as you know, we hold all the answers in our body. We are we have this capacity, this intelligence, and all the answers are in our body. But we shut down and we can't
and to
listen
trust
to
it,
those.
right?
And
I
we don't
teach
trust
patients
it.
to trust that intuition, trust in yourself.
Yeah.
And that's why this conversation is so important in this show. So we can just bring to light all of these elements, right? So that we can be empowered.
Yes.
Right? These things are empower us. That space that we live in can empower us or disempower us. If we walk into a space, do we feel heavy and stressed out because nothing's organized, nothing's in its right place, and it doesn't feel good? And where else do we go? If at work we're stressed out and at home we're stressed out, I mean, that will lead to illness and disease. We know for a fact, okay, that chronic stress leads to illness and disease, okay? And it won't allow you also to heal from a disease. It slows everything down. It slows the healing process. That's why this is so important. Your space at home and at work through interior design can be really optimized for your health and well-being. Then what else do you have in your home? Like in your little space for yourself, your self-care and your self-love, what do you have? Is it inside, indoors? Do you have natural light? Do you have plants? Like just kind of try to paint that picture for those listening and watching.
Yeah.
What is it?
So
what have you incorporated?
This new home that I just moved to, to me, it was very important to be open space, to have a lot of lighting, natural lighting come in. So, and I actually like the challenge of like having a new space. So that means new decor, starting fresh. And I actually went ahead and got rid of everything that I had. I donated, I sold all my furniture, because also you don't want to bring things from the past, right? Because past items have heavy energies. So I wanted to start a whole new fresh year. So I bought piece by piece slowly, and I brought my plants. The plants are my babies, so I did bring that. So I have my office space, which is separate from where I sleep. It's another tip that I want to give you guys.
Important.
If you work from home, make sure you're leaving your sleeping area, your bedroom, is separate from where you work.
So your little self-care space and like a space where, do you meditate?
Yes.
Okay, that space there, you have it separate from your workplace.
Yes.
Is it a different room? Like, where do you have it in your new place?
It's a different room.
Great.
So my meditation area is in this kind of den area that it's just me, myself, and I.
It has plants.
Yes.
What
Windows,
else do you
plants.
have? Pillows.
I love a lot of pillows. I love to sit comfortably on the floor now. It makes me feel grounded. I use
sitting on the floor. That's a good point. Instead of a chair. So if you have the opportunity and the ability physically to sit on the ground, Ines has created that space for her. And what's the reason? Because it's more grounding, right?
More grounding.
Energetically.
Yes, more grounding makes me feel.
And that's what we all need.
Yes. I have my crystals. I love crystals. I love sound healing. It's something I bring to my clients as well.
So you
sound
have that
healing.
in that room?
In a few minutes, it just like turns you into like this zen, like relaxed person. I have everything. Yes.
Are you diffusing any oils?
Yes,
oils.
oils.
A diffuser for essential oils,
Yes.
plants, natural light.
It's very light.
Sounds amazing.
Very peaceful.
If they don't have, if someone doesn't have like a separate room, what do you recommend? Like it's a small living or an efficiency, for example. what could someone do? Take a corner?
Yes, take
like
a
corner of the room. Is there a particular corner that might be like some feng shui elements like to talk about? Can you kind of expand about that?
Yeah, so I'll definitely use something to separate the rooms to make sure they are not the same room, because you want to, let's just say you want to have set apart the idea of I'm getting up and I'm going to work. If you can't really move from, like get out of the house, try do a desk somewhere else where you don't think about work while you're in the bedroom, and you don't think about the bedroom while you are at work. So two separate things, even to organize your mind and be more to have things more clean and organized, right? The living area, just also make sure it's not full of work, because you want to set aside that area separate as well, to just relax with your family or with your friends and not be thinking about work. So making sure if you have a small space,
so it could be a chair in the corner that doesn't have that, you don't have your laptop or your computer nearby. It can be as simple as that, a chair in the corner with great lighting, a nice comfy blanket, right?
Yes.
An oil diffusing, and you could just sit and look out the window, probably with an angle to look out the window, look at trees and nature, or something like that. If you don't have a whole bedroom that you can designate to that, that is key. That's something I talk to my patients about, right?
Yeah.
Any other things you want to talk about?
One quick tip is, if you can't have anything to separate, also you can frame that space with a rug. Let's just say this rug is idea. This desk area, so it's like a imaginary wall, so it's like that frame.
That's great.
And
with
then
an
the
area
bedroom,
rug, you can create the space, because visually, right, the mind sees it that way. This is a space for relaxing and meditation and connecting with yourself.
Yes.
That's a great tip.
Yes.
Thank you.
What other thing you want to know about your home? Let's see if you have...
You were going to talk about different areas, right? There's a place for sleeping. You want to talk about the bedroom?
The bedroom, yes. So
that's important. Rest and sleeping is something I have to talk to my patients about a lot. They're just not getting enough of it. So let's definitely... we can really expand upon how to create a space for rest, good quality sleep. The bedroom, what are the elements that people need to really think about?
So the bedroom is an amazing topic. It's where we should only use it.
It's for sleep.
It's for sleep and to share some time with your partner, not to work, not to have family time, perhaps on Sundays, but not to So I would just say this is something I've learned by studying feng shui.
Lights, right?
Yeah, by learning in all the courses that I've taken. One was feng shui, is to, for example, if you like photos, not have a family photos in the bedroom. The bedroom, only use it for you and your partner.
What kind of photos? What would you like on the walls?
Let's just say...
What would you recommend on the walls?
I'll recommend art or photos of you and your partner. And if you choose art pieces, go with things that are in pairs. Things that will see and you can connect with partnership and love and compassion, intimacy. So, but two things of, especially if you are a single person and if you're looking for your partner and that love relationship, make sure of things that you have a single vase, a single art piece. For example, I had a client that she was always looking for a partner and was really, really keen on starting a relationship. And I went to her home and all I could see was this art piece, this beautiful ballerina that was looking down and sad and was alone. So behind the, what I do, the arts of intentional art, right? The energy behind that is a lonely person. So what we want to shift is create something and incorporate something with a pair, so a couple or something like that. If you use candles, just have 2 candles. If you, for example, the nightstands, have 2 nightstands that are the same design. Out there we see a lot of like, 2 nightstands that are different, and it just looks cool. But to have that harmony in the design of the bedroom, always try and use 2 of the same. So 2 nightstands, 2 beautiful lamps that create harmony in
That's
the
a great tip.
space. Yeah.
Even within yourself, if you've chosen, and you want to feel whole, because remember, you can be alone and not feel lonely. So it's really healthy to be able to be alone in your bedroom and feel whole and complete. And that's why that's important. So yes, what you have, the decorations you use, the furniture you're picking, what you're putting on the walls can really help you in that purpose, right?
Yeah.
Create in that intention of feeling whole and complete, mind, body, and soul. And the bedroom is a retreat.
Yes.
Where you retreat and you are there to rest, recuperate, regenerate, and renew. So that's great to have pairs, right?
Yeah.
Pairs of things. That's a great tip. I didn't know that. That's wonderful. And so where can people find you and get information of how, get a consultation? How do you have it set up?
Yes, I also suggest
How can they find you?
to find me on social media. I'm on Instagram. It's Ines, Ines Martins, Martins Design. So you'll find me on Instagram. I also have a Facebook page, and I'm also on YouTube, Living Harmony.
So the YouTube channel is called what?
Living Harmony YouTube
Living
channel.
Harmony YouTube
Yes.
channel. Great,
Yes.
great.
And yes,
I love your stories, by the way, that you shared moving
Thank
into your
you.
new place. That could be so stressful.
Yes.
For so many people. My patients come in when they're moving into a new place. I mean, you get a backache, headaches, you're moving dust, you're packing, you get a lot of anxiety, and they're not knowing why. And I have to tell them, because what you're doing, it's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Like you mentioned, the energy of the objects. I mean, you can hold them in your hand, and I'm sure you asked them, how does this make you feel? Because if you're not feeling great when you're holding it, let's get rid of it, right? I'm sure you have your process with the energy of everything. And so I love that you share all that, even personally, your own space. Is there a place that people, so if they want a consultation, should they call a phone number?
I would say to reach me by email, which is the best way, or on my social media. I've got
That's
a lot
right,
of
they can
clients
message you.
Yeah, they can message me on social media.
What's your email?
My email is im@inesmartinsdesign.com. And funny that you brought that up about moving home. It's a huge thing. Don't take it lightly. It's you moving from a past, some part of you leaving behind a part of your past and moving into new. And I would definitely say that changes are always for the good, even if it doesn't seem like it's great at the time. But go ahead with the changes. But make sure the new place is clean energetically. That's also I do with my clients. I welcome to the new place by cleaning the energy of the place, by setting.
That's great.
Making sure it's a welcoming, inviting new step of your life. It's so important to move home. It's a new chapter of your life.
Change is good, and cleaning and decluttering. Donating. Giving objects that other people can make use of.
Yes.
It keeps the energy flowing, and that's why we talk about that in the office, because people are very tired. They're feeling tired, and guess what? Their blood work is normal. The hormones look balanced. Everything looks great, and it could be the space you're living in that is giving them that heavy feeling, right? Yeah. So that's great, the work that you do. There's just so much more to it than just how it looks on the surface, how it can impact your energy and your well-being. Thank you so much for deciding to do this as a living, and I'm sure you're making such a positive impact on everyone's lives. I'm so grateful that you are doing this work, and if ever I can help you, I'm always here. I'm so happy. I'll be sending you patients so they can revisit their home, and you can help them create a space that improves their mind, body, and soul, that all three need attention.
And in alignment.
All three need attention, right?
Yeah.
And if you have a space that allows you to do that quickly and easily, it even reminds you, because when you look over and you're just like, oh, there's my self-care space, let me go give myself some love.
Yeah.
And we all know that's what I have to remind my patients, that all of your medical conditions are going to improve when you have a self-care routine in place and you have a place in your home to do so. So I hope this helps. And remember, you have the ability to improve your health, and this show is for you to learn how to inspire you, educate you, motivate you, all the different ways that you can take charge of your own health and well-being. Thank you so much for watching.